Hello, friends. I'm really excited. We are in Frankfurt in the Museum of the Judengasse. The Judengasse was demolished in the late 19th century, but they had found the remains in the 1990s, and they excavated some of it, so we can get a little glimpse of what it looked like. Now it's amazing because so many big gedolim and tzaddikim that lived here in this area, and great people. It was one of them. Was the crown jewel of Ashkenaz, was Frankfurt after the Middle Ages, like we explained. In 1442, the King Frederick III, he opposed the Jews living next to the cathedral because they were making too much noise with their singing, so they had to move. And then finally, in 1462, they were put into a Judengasse, which was only like 300 meters long, originally made for 15 families, around 110 people, and by 1613, 1614, there were more than like 3,000 people, but they'd never let them expand the city council, so they had built houses upon houses and even added pieces and added stuff. The writer Goethe, he writes that a small apartment in the Judengasse was worth more, or costed more than a nice villa in other places in Frankfurt. The ghetto was closed by walls and had 3 gates. The Jews were not allowed to leave on Sundays. They had to stay inside on Christian holidays, and they were really restricted and very discriminatory laws. But this will be some of the remnants of the Judengasse. We actually have the house of Nussen Oppenheimer, who was a stepson of Reb Shamshon Wertheimer, one of the big court Jews, and he built a house of stone. Most of the houses were built of wood. And if you go down here, you can see he had a private mikveh. He would have a private mikveh over here. And this was in the 17th century. It was built in the 17th century. And there was another mikveh that could be seen on the Judengasse. Now, what's interesting also about the Judengasse is that a lot of names that we know, for example, the Rothschilds had a house in the Judengasse. But why were they called Rothschild? Because every house had a symbol. So they were named by the symbol of the house. So, for example, if a certain house had a boat on it, so all the people living in the house were called Schiff. Or one had a key on it, it was called a Schloss. That's the Schloss family. Or Rothschild is the red shield. It had a picture of a shield, a red one. That was the emblem of the family. And that's a lot of names that we have, Jewish names, come from the houses that they actually lived here in Frankfurt. The Judengasse was, like I said, finally demolished in the 19th century, and then the Jews were allowed to live in other places.